People with ADHD, what is something you do that you thought everyone else did but found out it's because you have ADHD? Hyper-focusing on something for hours without realizing, then immediately losing interest in it either because of a distraction, or sudden inexplicable boredom. Bouncy leg. Stare off into space, not actively thinking about anything and practically asleep with eyes open until someone waves their hand in front of my face. Not being able to remember what I've just read when I turn over to the next page, having racing thoughts. Being distracted by anything and everything, not remembering to do basic tasks, such as brushing teeth or eating at appropriate times, being both restless and exhausted at the same time, not remembering people or places. I'm also autistic, so there are probably overlaps. Forget things when you don't constantly think about it. Time blindness. Being extremely distracted, annoyed by little noises that no one else seems to notice. If band names were literal, what would be the best worst concerts to attend? Fine Young Cannibals. Megadeth. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. REM would be a snooze fest. Rush. It'd probably be like 5 seconds. Scorpions would be pretty bad. With special guest Whitesnake. Smash Mouth. I'm sure Sex Pistols would be interesting. Blue Man Group would be the exact same. Lol. Everybody would be disgusted at a Papa Roach show. A Flock of Seagulls would be pretty awful tbh. Conjuring mental images of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Tame Impala would be cool. You could go up and pet the impala. The Police would be quite unfun. The Killers. Circle Jerks. I could just go to Home Depot if I wanted to see Tool. Cradle of Filth and Napalm Death would probably be up there. Jimmy Eat World would be a bad one. Counting Crows would be pretty dull. 1. 2. Oh, I guess that's all of them. Non-Americans of Reddit, would you consider moving to the United States? Why or why not? Seems like a beautiful country filled with some great people. However, I wouldn't live there until they sort out workers' rights and the health service. No. In the UK I get around 35 days paid leave every year, which I am openly encouraged and in some cases required to take. I get 6 months fully paid sick leave if I need it. My health care is free of charge. Yes, the NHS has issues, but if I wind up needing treatment for cancer, I won't end up with a £1,000,000 bill at the end. I don't worry about my kids getting shot at school. Has anyone here said yes? Can't find one. No. I don't like their health management issues, worker rights and politics. Holidays yes, but not to live. It's far too polarized and feels dangerous. What do you think is a complete waste of money? Extended warranty on low-cost goods. Little edible gold flakes on food. Internet service providers that still don't offer unlimited data plans. Buying a new phone every year. Reddit awards. Flags proclaiming how much you like or hate a certain political candidate. Controversial opinion on Reddit but funk pops. Smoking, vaping. Skins. Food delivery through apps such as Uber Eats, Foodora, DoorDash, etc. Inflated menu prices to cover the cost of the platform cut and then the platform's service fees? Nah. I'm good. Edit y'all. I said delivery through apps. Delivery existed before these platforms and delivery can exist without M. Obedience School for Cats. A blue dot on Twitter. What are you sick of people trying to convince you is great? Raycon earbuds. Waking up at crack of dawn just to get a head start on the day. Oh my god, running. Runners are such evangelists. Running will change my life apparently. Fuck that. I did couch to 5K just to shut them up. Successfully completed it a week early. Hated every single minute. But now I have the proof it's not for me. Alcohol. Every time I'd go out and people saw I don't drink, they'd ask me why. When I explained I'm teetotal, they'd try their best to get me to drink. I'm not a virgin to the stuff. I was a drinker in my teens but realized I hated it so packed it in. They're untrained, unleashed dog. GTFO with that mess and don't bring it out in public until you have actually given it some meaningful training and a leash. Also, if you are not physically capable of restraining that dog, don't bring it out in public ever. How do you feel about mint chocolate chip ice cream? It's amazing. One of the best flavors. Now I want some. Breyer's mint chip is the shit. Plus since mint is good for tummies, I sometimes claim I'm eating it for medicinal purposes. I spent most of my life thinking that people who liked it were weird. Mint? And ice cream? Together? No, I wouldn't even consider trying it. But I ended up trying it a few years ago and now it's my favorite. I don't like it. Ice cream is already cold and then the extra feeling of coolness from the mint is overbearing for me. As soon as I read this question, I started craving mint chocolate chip ice cream. I love it and haven't had it in a while. I'll have to pick some up this weekend. I don't like it at all, but it is a personal opinion, especially because I don't like mint. It's very strong for me. I really don't like it. Gross. Love it. What is a popular misconception about self-defense? Self-defense stops when the attacker is down out. If you shoot a person threatening you with a gun and then proceed to double tap them when they're down, you'll lose the self-defense aspect and move towards assault territory. Same thing happens with a fist fight. If I put you down on the ground, I can't come over and just start kicking the shit out of you since the initial threat has been neutralized. A 1-hour self-defense seminar will do fuck all for you. It requires a lot of time and energy to commit the techniques to muscle memory. Also, they must be practiced in a live setting against a resisting opponent. That you can defend yourself. People who are against the legalization of weed, why? Question for those who think weed should be illegal. All these comments, I think it should be legal, but you're asking the wrong echo chamber, my man. Smoking weed illegally just feels better, you know. I smoke a lot of pot, but I do worry they are trying to make us all stupid. Let's all be honest. Pot doesn't make you smarter, it makes you think you're smarter while you're actually slowly getting dumber. I mean, it's okay if I'm dumb, but who the fuck is gonna take care of me if you all stupid? What animal feels like a dollar store version of another animal? Emus and ostriches. Did you ever see one of those swole kangaroos? Wallabies look like the dollar store version of that. Cute, sure, but a bit dumpy looking. Capybaras and guinea pigs. A snail is a dollar store turtle. Legless lizards and snakes. Just be a snake. This is a hilarious concept. A sloth is like if you bought a monkey on Wish. I always thought hyenas looked like a miniature, leftover parts bin version of a giraffe. Raccoons are dollar store pandas. Tapirs are dollar store elephants. Muskrats are rats role-playing otters. Canada geese are dollar store swans. Earthworms are caterpillars from real-life. Ducks are duck-billed platypuses if you found them on Wish. They have the bills and they lay eggs, that's it. They're not even venomous. Pigeons are cheap doves. Coyotes are wolves. Worms are dollar store snakes. What are some examples of being street smart? Don't ever tell the cab driver you don't know where you're going. Wear shoes you can run the fuck away in. If you're a tourist and lost, don't stand still to get your bearings. Go sit on a bench and look relaxed, like you're waiting for someone and just passing the time. Street smarts to give your kids if you get lost. Find the closest adult with kids. I saw this in action once at Disneyland when a 4-year-old kid approached me and my kiddos while we were eating. She joined us very calmly, introduced herself, and said her parents gave her the above advice. I heard her parents shouting her name not long after, and the relief on their faces was a sight. When in doubt, act crazy. Don't leave anything visible in your parked car. US wants to ban TikTok. What are your thoughts? Sounds like they're trying to get rid of the symptom of privacy concerns and not the problem, which is how no tech company or corporation respects individual privacy. Would probably be the best for everyone. As a former teacher, I worry about how it's impacting kids. Many of them watch it for hours daily, and there's been tons of issues with them following idiotic TikTok trends. It also is used by a lot of minors, so security issues are concerning. I don't think the first reason is enough to ban it, but the second might be. What common saying you despise for being completely wrong? Unexpected item in the bagging area. Chemical free. As a chemist, this drives me absolutely insane. Please listen closely as our menu options have changed. Cheaters never prosper. That phrase is so inaccurate today. That's my truth. As of the past year, we're all in this together. Excuse me? No, we're fucking not. I could care less. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Sometimes it's true. Other times what doesn't kill you leaves you paralyzed and traumatized. Do what you love and the money will follow. I like sitting on my ass and watching TV, but that ain't paying the bills. The customer is always right. Life hack. Nothing is impossible. Lots of things are impossible. Forgive and forget. Just cause I forgive someone doesn't mean I can forget what happened, so I like to say forgive and move on. What dark secret are you hiding from everyone? My uncle owned an old Camaro that collected dust in his garage. When I was around 10, my family and I were in town visiting, and I wrote the word fuck in the dust on the hood of the car. I used my thumb so that the letters were fatter than my normal index finger. A few hours later, my aunt-uncle asked us who did it, and I proved it wasn't me by showing how the person who did it had bigger fingers than me. Taking that shit to my grave. I've been accessory to both my parents' infidelity. At age 5, my mother cheated on my dad while he was deployed, and my brother told me what was happening and that I shouldn't tell anyone. My father slept with his secretary 2 years later and would even bring me on dates with her, telling my mother we were going to the movies. They're still married. I don't know if either know the other did the thing or if they still are doing the thing. What is a good smell that you can't stand? All fake rose-scented items. All of them. Synthetic vanilla smell. Something about it is particularly off-putting, especially some candles that just make me nauseous the moment I enter the room. Car perfume. Fucking nauseous. Chloroform. I fall down every time. Most perfume cologne, though that could be due to people who use way too much of it. The smell of cooking chicken liver or cow liver. It's disgusting. Patchouli, coriander, parsley. I'd quiet just smells off to me. Bananas. Absolutely disgusting smell. Any candle scent like clean cotton or fresh linen. Don't know why, but they mess with my sinuses and make me feel miserable. Lavender. It just makes me want to sneeze. That strawberry scent. I'd since when it came around, but oh lord, does that make me nauseous? The smell of sanitizers. How different is your life now compared to 3 years ago? I'm not as much of a fat ass as I was. Recovering from COVID has been a trip. Married, bought a house, new car, back surgery all fixed up now, weed is legal, took up 2 new sports, in my 30s, been a good few years. Way busier. If I grew the amount of legal cannabis I grow in Texas, I'd be in prison. Ha ha ha, love my legal state. I have significantly less expendable income. It's a fucking complete 180. My mental health is somehow worse. I am in a relationship with an amazing girl though. I still don't make the best decisions. Better. What does Europe have that the US doesn't? Roman ruins. Cities that expanded before the popularization of the motor car. Multiple countries to visit. More than 2 political parties. Liechtenstein. Well, for starters, USA is a country while Europe is a continent. So Europe has many countries but USA has only one. Castles, good public transportation, less school shootings, affordable healthcare and gun control, passable infrastructure, a working healthcare system, holidays, time off, gun control, free healthcare. With the war in Ukraine? Still less gun deaths, monarchy, kids who aren't afraid they'll get murdered at school, a decent healthcare system, safe schools, damn good chocolate for like $2. No, Hershey's is not good. It's just sweet. Good beer and really good bread. Laws against hate speech. Good fucking food. If you got to remove one thing from the world, what would it be? Human traffickers, cancer, depression. Everyone deserves to be happy. Mental illness of any kind. Greed. Selfishness. I was going to say racism, but I think ridding the world of selfishness would also rid the world of racism. Same goes for many other things like human trafficking and many other crimes. So my final answer is selfishness. Dementia, pedophilia, mosquitoes, war, narcissists, ass hair, lack of empathy for animals and people. Emphatic people are less likely to commit crimes. With less crimes, and kinder people, the world will be at peace. Disease, racism and discrimination. I'm going with sexual assault. Consent for everyone. Serious. What was the fastest way you have seen someone ruin their life? A 16 years old at the time murdered my friend's dad for money. He tried to hide his face but didn't hide his tattoos. He was tried as an adult and last I checked, he got something like 40 or 50 years. Sometimes I think about that and imagine what it's like to spend your youth in prison. Not that I feel bad for him. Meth and cocaine. They take hold and are very difficult to manage in moderation. When I was in the Marines, our company commander, a captain, got arrested in front of the entire company and taken away in handcuffs for selling and distributing child porn on the government computers. How long he was up to it for not long, but the arrest just took a few minutes. Pretty fast, life-ruining event. Serious. What's the most disturbing piece of information you've found out about someone you've known personally? Guy I used to hang out date with was caught not once, but twice torturing and killing cats. I still feel sick thinking about it. A guy who is about 5 years older than me always followed me around school when I was 12-13. Used to walk me to the car and sit in front of the door so I couldn't close it and just talk to me and my mom for ages. Then found out he lives in my street, still does to this day 17 years later. Few years ago he got convicted of making and distributing child pornography. My next door neighbor was raping and torturing a 9-year-old girl. I felt so bad that I was next door going about my daily life and not knowing it. What actor or actress stupidly left a movie franchise or TV series thinking they were too good for it, only to be never popular again? Terrence Howard was in Iron Man 1 and was going to become War Machine. This was the very start of the Marvel movies, the MCU. He got bounced, I think, for asking for crazy money. Don Cheadle replaced him for Iron Man 2 and all the movies beyond. Katherine Heigl. She left Grey's to become a movie star. Look how that turned out. She was also a massive problem on the Grey's set.